I gave you my heart.
Hi guys, so welcome back sa ating YouTube channel. So ito na yung chapter 6 para sa ating probability. So again, hinati ko ulit siya sa dalawang part. So para medyo mahabaan kayo or magkaroon tayo ng mahabang time para mapag-usapan tong chapter 6. So chapter 6 is all about jointly distributed random variables. Okay? So ito nga no, so 6.1 joint distribution function. So thus far, so aside sa mga napag-aralan na natin, okay, so we have concern ourselves only with probability distribution for single random variable. Okay, so tama naman. So from discrete up to continuous, ang pinag-uusapan natin is isang random variable. Okay, so however, we are often interested in probability statements concerning two or more random variable. Okay, so ngayon, what if naman na kunyari pinag-usapan na natin is dalawang random variable or I guess 2 or 3, for example 4 or something kung mas marami. Okay, so in order to deal with such probabilities, we are defined for any two random variable x and y the joint cumulative, so again the joint cumulative probability distribution function of x and y by, so again ito yung ating parang ito yung joint cumulative probability distribution function. This is f of a comma b is equal to probability of x is less than or equal to a comma y is less than or equal to b for negative infinity less than or equal to a and b less than or equal to less than to infinity. Okay, so yan yung ating joint cumulative probability distribution function of x and y. So ganyan natin siya isusulat. So kung last time, kung sinusulat natin si f of a as the probability of x less than or equal to a, ngayon kung susulat ko si f of a comma b, susulat natin siya as x less than or equal to a comma y less than or equal to b. Okay, so the distribution of x and y denoted by f sub x and f sub y so can be obtained using this. Okay, again, the distribution of x and y. So again, gusto kong kunin yung distribution x, alam nyo yun. Okay, and the distribution of y, alam ko yun. Pero, what if kunin natin yung distribution of f of x saka ng f of y in terms of joint distribution? Okay, so we start with this thing. Okay, so gamitin natin yung nasa taas. So first is, we need to obtain the the distribution of x. F sub x of a. So ayun, ayaw na naman magsulat ng aking ballpen. Hindi ko na naman alam bakit ayaw niya magsulat. Okay, so check natin kung susulat siya ulit. Ayaw talaga. Pero I guess ito yun. So sorry na ano pa tayo. Hindi ko na check yung ballpen na gagamitin ko. So f sub x of a. Okay, so based from our previous study, ito siya. So this is just the probability of x since yan yung random variable na declare less than or equal to a. Okay, so now, applying yung nasa taas, so meaning yung x less than a, ipapalitan ko lang yung nasa taas. So this is just equal sa probability ng x less than or equal to a, comma, y is less than infinity. Okay, so ngayon, ngayon siguro marahil magtataka ka, sir, bakit po wala tayong nakalagay kay b or kay y? Kaya wala tayong nakalagay kay y kasi nga wala talaga tayong dineclare kay b actually. So hindi natin dineclare si b, so alam lang natin na si y is less than infinity. So nag-i-exist si y o si random variable y, but hindi natin alam kung hanggang saan, kung ano yung L, kung anong value siya, kung b ba siya or something. Okay, kaya ganyan yung nilagay ko. So now, applying yung ating since alam natin na isang probability is a continuous function, we can apply limit dun sa loob or we can apply limit sa pinakalabas. So this is just apply the limit. So this is just the limit. Okay. So okay, sorry. So ngayon 'di ba ganyan nangyari? Ano yung lang isip? So ngayon, nakapansin mo, sir, wala po yung B. Okay, ngayon sabi ko ang explanation ko is something na wala si B kasi nga, hindi natin talaga alam kung nag-exist siya or what. So ngayon, gusto ko magkaroon sana ng B. Again, gusto ko magkaroon siya ng B. Pero dapat infinity pa rin yung nakukuha natin. So ngayon, ito yung rule na kung saan i-apply ko yung limit sa loob na kung saan andun si B. Malalagay ko si B. So, pakitignan na lang kung paano ko gagawin. So this is just the probability of the limit Okay, as B approaches infinity, so yun, naglagay ako ng B, okay, ng X less than or equal to A, comma, Y less than or equal to B. Okay, so ngayon, check mo. Pag in-apply ko yung limit sa both ng yan, so limit ng X less than or equal to A as B approaches infinity is just X less than A. Limit as B approaches infinity ng Y less than or equal to B is just Y less than or equal to infinity or Y less than infinity lang. Okay, so now, apply natin yung continuous rule ng continuous function. So, kung nasa loob yung limit, lalabas sa loob ng probability. Okay, so over tayo doon. So, next is apply natin yung limit na yun o yung rule. So, the limit as B approaches infinity ng probability as X less than or equal to A, comma, Y less than or equal to B. Okay, then obviously eto na yung nasa taas. So ayun yung goal ko. Kaya ako siya ginanyan, kaya ako inilagay yung limit, tapos nilagpas ko yung limit kasi meron akong probability ng X less than A and Y less than B in which pwede ko nang i-apply yung nasa taas. So this is just equal sa limit as B approaches infinity ng F of A, comma, B. Then apply the limit. So this is just equal sa F of A, comma, infinity. Okay, so meaning in terms of joint distribution, ang probability on the distribution of X, whenever A yung element natin is just equal sa F of A, comma, infinity. Okay, so similar case dun sa ating F sub Y. So F sub Y, so hindi ko na isa-solve or what So pakita ko na lang yung pinaka magiging result. So sa F sub Y of A, or I guess B ba gagamitin ko? B gagamitin ko. So B, this is just equal sa F of infinity or infinity naman sa baba. This is just infinity, comma, B. Yun sa sumasamang mga buhok. Okay, so yan yung dalawa. Again si F sub X of A can be written as this in terms of joint distribution. So F sub Y of B can be written as F of infinity, comma, B. So again, yan yung mga distribution of X in terms of joint cumulative probability distribution function. So now, katulad ni discrete random variable sa ni continuous random variable, meron din tong tawag dito. Meron din siyang tinatawag na mga properties. Okay? So number one property is ito. So I guess ito yung pwede kong unang i-discuss sa inyo, no? So the probability of X greater than A and Y less than B, Y greater than B, simply, dahil wala tayo niyan, anong gagawin natin dyan? This is just equal. So again ang laging rule natin is less than equal to A, less than equal to B. Okay, kasi yun lang naman yung na-declare ni Sir eh. Okay, so wala pa tayo na-declare. So paano Sir kung greater than both side? Ano pong gagawin natin? Kung greater than both sides, siyempre, apply natin yung application ng complement. So this is just equal sa 1 minus the probability ng, sulat natin sa loob, no? The probability of X greater than A, comma, Y greater than B, then complement sa loob. Kasi siya yung event. Okay, now, as we complement yung nasa loob, anong mangyayari? Okay, so this is just equal sa 1 minus the probability ng, una is X greater than A, complement. Tapos, ibig sabihin ng comma, sa logic nyo pa lang, ibig sabihin ng comma is end. Tama? Ibig sabihin kasi ng comma sa logic is end. So meaning, kung kinomplement si end, ano mangyari? Or ninegate mo si end, magiging or. So since end siya or intersection, automatically this become union. So pag pinasok ko yung complement na yan, so this become union ng Y greater than B. Okay, so again, nasa loob pa lang tayo ng probability. Ayan. So now, apply natin yung rule ng complement. So sorry, lagyan ko pa ng complement to. So this is complement. So this is just equal sa 1 minus the probability ng X less than or equal to A. Okay, so yun yung una. Then union probability ng Y less than or equal to B. So in-apply ko na yung complement. So now, next is aware tayo na pag meron tayong ganito, so hindi natin alam kung siya ay mutually exclusive or what. So sabi, pag meron kang probability ng A union B, pag hindi mo sure kung mutually exclusive, hindi mo pwede i-apply yung isa. Okay, yung axiom 3. Okay, so apply natin dito sin proposition na kung saan ang probability ng A union B is just equal sa probability of A plus probability of B minus the probability of their intersection. So meaning, ito ay magiging equal lang sa 1 minus, lagyan ko ng parenthesis, this is the probability of X less than or equal to A plus the probability of Y less than or equal to B, then minus the probability of their intersection, which is X less than or equal to A, comma Y less than or equal to B. Okay, next is apply na natin, no? Lagay natin yung negative sa lahat ng yan. Okay, so we are aware na meron tayong probability na X less than or equal to A. Na ang probability ng X less than or equal to A is just F sub X of A. Ang probability ng Y less than or equal to B is just F sub Y of B. Okay, and probability nito is just F of A, comma B. So pasok ko lang yung mga negative. So this is just 1 minus, ito ipapalitan ko ng F sub X of A, then minus F sub Y of B, then plus, kasi negative times negative is positive, ng F of A, comma B. So meaning, pag meron tayong ganitong probability, or pinapakuha sa sir na ganyang probability, ang i-apply mong distribution or formula is just ganyan. So 1 minus the probability of X, the probability of the distribution of X, minus the distribution of Y, plus the joint distribution of X and Y, or the joint cumulative distribution of X and Y. Okay, so ganyan yung gagawin natin. Okay, so next is, what if ganito naman yung process? So sorry, what if ganyan? So apply naman natin yung isang rule ng probability na kung saan, kung naiipit siya, yung A sub 1 less than X less than or equal sa A sub 2, anong gagawin doon? So kung naalala mo, ang gagawin lang natin doon is just, ito yung kumbaga, F of A, so F of A sub 2 minus F of A minus F of A sub 1. Tapos dito, F of B sub 2 minus F of B sub 1. Kaso, iba dito yung rule sa kanya. Again, iba dito. So, wala akong rule. Kumbaga, ito ay hindi natin na-solve or what, pero ito ay yung magiging fixed rule natin. So, this is A sub 2, comma B sub 2. Okay, that is F plus probability ng A sub 1, comma B sub 1. Okay, minus probability ng A sub 1, comma B sub 2. Minus the probability ng A sub 2, comma B sub 1. So again, hindi ko alam technically kung paano siya na-derive, pero kung bibigyan natin ng time, syempre, aalamin ko siya. Pero no need na kasi nga, property siya, so nag-i-exist lang siya. So kung nakita mo siya, gagawin lang natin yung ganyan na distribution. So this is whenever, so lagay ko lang no whenever. So whenever A sub 1 is less than A sub 2, and B sub 1 is less than B sub 2. So again, mangyayari lang yan, application na yan. So tandaan, ito ay mga properties na kung saan pwede mong mapakinabangan. Now, ito yung una natin ipag-uusapan sa 6.1 o sa joint distribution function. So sa joint distribution function, ang pag-uusapan natin is in the discrete case lang. Okay, so wala muna yung continuous case. So sa next video yung continuous case. So discrete case muna tayo. So in the case when X and Y are both discrete random variable, so ibig sabihin, sa discrete random variable, ang meron is probability mass function. Okay? So, kung siya ay joint, kung ito ay joint random variable or dalawa or two or more random variables, ang tawag sa kanya is, so, ang una natin pwedeng term dito is the joint probability mass function. The joint probability mass function. Okay, mass function of X and Y. Okay, this is denoted by small p of X, comma Y. So, aware naman tayo, yung ginagamit natin is just equal sa probability ng X is equal to X and Y is equal to small y. Okay, so ganyan natin isa-solve ang isang probability o joint probability mass function whenever tayo ay naka-discrete case. So similarly, kung yung distribution function natin, so from cumulative or from joint, napaghihiwalay natin sila. Tama? So napaghiwalay ko siya na ganito yung case, tapos ganito yung case. Okay, so dito, ganun din. So alam natin, pwede natin kunin yung probability mass function. So this is the probability mass function of the random variable x of x is just equal sa probability ng x is equal to x. And yung isa is just the probability mass function of the random variable y of y is just equal sa probability ng y is just equal to y. Okay, so pakitandaan yan. So sir, paano yan in terms of formula? So in terms of formula, this is just equal sa summation. Okay, summation. So this is y. Okay, so such that yung probability ng x comma y is greater than 0. So this is probability ng x comma y. Okay, so again, y siya na kung saan kukunin ko yung mga value ng y. So kung probability of x, kukunin ko is yung y na kung saan yung probability ng x comma y is greater than 0 pag probability mass function of x. Again y. So y yung ginagamit natin na random variable. So syempre dito naman, this is just the summation x such that the probability ng x comma y is greater than 0 ng probability ng x comma y. So dito naman x yung kinukuha natin na mga value. Okay, so dito medyo mapapansin mo dalawa yung if ever gagawa tayong table, hindi siya basta yung parang table lang na 2 column, 2 row, something na ganon. Dito hindi. So probably meron tayong probability dun sa x, just may sa y. Okay, so probably siya ay parang buong table actually yung gagawin. So para mas maintindihan nyo, so I think magkaroon tayo na example. So paano nga ba gumagana yung isang discrete case. So may isa ako dito ng tanong, medyo naging ambiguous yung parang yung side ko. So hindi ako totally agree, to be honest, kung paano yung way sinolve. Pero may naisip naman akong way kung paano niya solve. Kasi wala siyang totally exact explanation kung paano siya isosolve. Alright, so let's move on or let's start with this. So paano ba natin bubuin to? So usually sinasagot natin to, usually in terms of table. Okay, so gagawa tayo ng table. So into which na dapat mapapakita mo na meron kang probability mass function dun sa x, as probability mass function dun sa y. Okay, so para mapakita ko rin yung mga rule. So now, suppose that 3 balls are randomly selected from an urn. So again, 3 balls yung randomly selected from an urn. So yun, nagugulo. Okay, so containing 3 red, 4 white, and 5 blue balls. So again, meron tayong 3 red, 4 white, and 5 blue balls. So if we let x and y denote respectively the numbers of red and white, again, red and white balls chosen, then the joint probability mass function of x and y, p of I comma j is just equal sa probability ng x is equal to I, comma y is equal to j. Okay, so ito yung gagawin natin ng probability mass function. So again, sabi ko nga, bubuin natin siya through the use of table. So actually, sinasagot talaga siya through the use of table. So gawa lang kong table, no? So paano ko pa gagawin to? So since I and j, no? So the probability ng x is equal to I, then y is equal to j. Okay, so ang gagawin ko, gagawa ko dito ng table such that andito yung I. Okay, dito yung j. Okay, so kumbaga salitan yan. Okay, so now, may mga pagpipilian tayo na number dito. Okay, so mga pagpipilian natin ng number, unang syempre, so mga random variable natin dito is something. Pwedeng walang red ball, so yung I is para sa red ball, yung j is para sa blue ball. So since tatlo yung binubunot natin, so yung mga random variable natin o yung values ng random variable I and j natin is 0, 1, 2, and 3. Kasi pwedeng walang blue ball, pwedeng walang red ball, pwedeng walang white ball. Okay, so pwede ring meron. So pwedeng isa, pwedeng dalawa, pwedeng tatlo. So una, this is 0, 1, 2, and 3. So again, bubuin natin to. This is 0, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so now, yan yung ating gagawin actually. So lagyan ko na to ng ating table dito, something na ganyan. So hoping din na kasya yung magiging result ng sagot natin kasi alam ko medyo malaking fraction to. So iba pa yung way ng pag-solve syempre. So una, tuturuan ko muna kayo paano babasahin tong table na to para mas maintindihan nyo rin. Okay, so actually may isa pang table dito. Okay, so dito rin may isa pang table. So importante yung pangatlong table So may panghuling table rather. Okay, so dito lalagay ko yung row sum. So tinatawag na row sum. So sa row sum, this is the probability ng x is equal to I. Kumbaga dan siya lang. Dito naman is yung column sum. So, ibig sabihin ng row sum, lahat ng result dito, add natin, ayun yung sagot doon. So, this is just the probability of y is equal to j. Okay, so yan yung row sum natin. Okay, so again, hoping na magkasya yung ating sagot. Okay, so ngayon, paano iintindihin yung table na to? So, ibig sabihin ng table na to is something na, kunyari, tinignan ko to. So, for example, kinuha ko si probability ng 0, 0. Si probability mass function, so yun ay magsulat. So, una is kinuha ko yung probability mass function ng 0, 0. Okay, so meaning ng 0, 0, saan ko siya papesto? Dito, sa gitna na yan. 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 3. Okay, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3. Okay, ngayon, may mga obvious dito. Since ilang bola lang yung nakukuha natin. Ang bola na nakukuha natin is 3 lang kada draw. Okay, suppose that 3 balls are randomly selected. Okay, so meaning, ano yung mga hindi possible dito? Ang mga hindi possible dito is yung probability ng 2, 2. Bakit? Ilang bola na yun? Yung probability ng 2, 2, ang bola nun is 4 na. In which, that is impossible. So, since impossible siya, so sorry, hindi pwede dito. So, pag hindi pwede, ibig sabihin, pag hindi pasok sa rule, or sa condition, ibig sabihin, ang probability is 0. So, meaning, ang probability ng 2, 2 is 0. Okay, ang probability ng 3, 0, possible yan. 3, 1, 0 din to kasi 4 yung bola. 3, 2, 0 din yan. Okay, ito rin ay 1, 3, 0 din to. Okay, itong 2, 3, 0 din to. And 3, 3, 0 din yan. Okay, so may mga na-escape na tayo na method. So again, dapat pasok ka dun sa ruling natin. So now, ito na yung mga goal natin. Ano yung probability ng 0, 0? So before that, start muna tayo dito. So una is something na, paano ba natin siya isosolve? Okay, suppose that 3 balls are randomly selected. So since 3 balls are randomly selected, ngayon ilan yung bola lahat? Yung bola natin lahat is 3 plus 4 plus 5, that is 12. So meaning sa sample space pa lang, alam mo na sa sample space pa lang, this is 12 taken 3. Okay, so again, 12 taken 3 yung sample space natin. Okay, ngayon, ano ba yung I and J natin? So yung I natin nare-represent is yung, kunyari pinili mo is 1, 2. So, 1, 2, ibig sabihin ng 1, 2, may 1 red, okay? May 1 red at may 2 white. Kunyari, pinili ko 2, 1, may 2 red at may 1 white. Yun yung ibig sabihin ng gagawin natin dito. Now, since 12 yung kinukuha natin, so ito yung una natin. The probability of 0, 0, ano to? So, sir, ano po yung probability ng 0, 0? Ang probability ng 0, 0 is just, una, since wala tayong mapipili dun sa red and white natin. Kasi 0, 0 yung red eh. So, pero magdodraw pa rin tayong tatlong bola. Since wala tayong mapipili sa red and white, ano po piliin natin? Si blue ball. So, ano ba si blue ball? Si blue ball is 5. So, meaning, sa blue ball lang mabubunot natin. So, ilan yung combination nun? Ang combination sa taas is 5 taken 3. All over the sample space which is 12 taken 3. Okay? So, calculate mo na lang. Ako meron na akong sagot dito. So, ang sagot daw is 10 over 220. So, this is 10 over 220. So, lagay ko dito 10 over 220. So, hindi ko muna ni lowest term para mapadali yung pag-add natin. Next is probability ng 1, 0. So, again, hindi equal yung probability ng 1, 0 sa 0, 1. Depende kasi yan. So, ano ibig sabihin ng probability ng 1, 0? Ang probability ng 1, 0, meron daw 1 red. So, meaning, sa 1 red, that is 3 taken 1. Tapos, 0 blue, 0 white ball. So, since 0 white ball, saan pa tayo bubunot ng dalawa? Dun sa blue ball. So, again, ibig sabihin nito, this is just 1 red. So, para sa 1 red, this is 3 taken 1. Kasi tatlo yung bola ng red. Then, multiplied by 5 taken 2. Kasi doon tayo sa blue kukuha. Then all over 12 taken 3. Okay, then this is just equal sa pagka-solve dyan, that is simply equal sa sorry, wait ko lang check ko yung ilan yung bola. Tama lang pala. Okay, so 1, 0, that is simply 1, 0, that is simply 30 over 220. So this is 30 over 220. It's 30 over 220. So, 1, 0 yun, no? So, 1, 0, this is 30 over 220. Okay, so, pasensya na, medyo, so, try ko ilapit para makita nyo. Okay, so, next is the probability. So, medyo matagal, no? Pasensya na. Probability ng 2, 0. So, the probability ng 2, 0, 2 red. Okay, so, this is 3 taken 2. Okay, then 5 taken 1. Kasi dun tayo sa blue ball, kukuha ng isa. Then all over the sample space. So lagay ko na lang S, okay lang naman siguro, no? para medyo umikli yun. No? So S natin is 12 taken 3. Kaya na kayo sa S natin. No? So that is 3 take, that is 2, 0. So since 2, 0 yung pinag-uusapan, that is simply 15 over 220. Okay, so this is 15 over 220. Okay, so this is 15 over 220. Okay, so pasensya na sulat ni sir. Next is the probability ng 3, 0. So the probability ng 3, 0, syempre 3 red ball. So this is 3 taken 3. Okay, so yan lang naman yan, no? 3 taken 3 over S. Okay, and ang obvious, this is just 1 over 220. So by the way, yung 12 taken 3 is 220 yata. Kaya this is 220 yung ilalim. Okay, so next is, syempre nakuha natin to, no? 1 over 220. So this is 1 over 220. Okay, so pwede natin kunin yung row sa column sum para dito. Okay, so pwede mo kunin yung column sum para dyan, tapos mamaya dito. So mamaya natin kunin, I guess, para tuloy-tuloy lang. Next is probability ng 0, 1, 1, 1, tapos 2, 1. Okay, so yun yung sunod natin gagawin. Probability ng 0, 1. So ito nga, no, iba yung 1, 0 sa 2, 1. So meaning 0 red ball, so wala tayong bubunutin sa red, pero may isang white. Okay, so since ilan yung white? 4 yung white, so that is 4 taken 1. So this is 4 taken 1 times 5 taken 2. Kasi kukuha tayo sa blue. All over yung S or 220. So ilan yung sagot dyan? Ang sagot dyan is just 40 over 220. Sabi ng aking kodigo. So this is 40 over 220. This is 40 over 220. Okay, next is probability ng 1, 1. Kasi doon na tayo sunod. So 1, 1. So syempre meron tayong 3 taken 1 kasi tatlo sa red, isang bola sa tatlong red, then 4 taken 1, then 5 taken 1. Okay, kasi kukuha pa tayo sa blue all over S. So yes, nagigets mo naman yung idea dyan. Okay, so paano yan? 1, 1. So 1, 1, 1. That is simply 60 over 220. So this is 60 over 220. Okay, so lagay ko dito, no, 60 over 220. Okay, next probability ng 2, 1. This is just, siyempre, dalawang red. So, 3 taken 2. Then, 4 taken 1. Then, all over S, o yung 220. So, that is 2, 1. Ilan yun? 12 over 220. This is 12 over 220. Okay, so pwede na kunin yung row sum, column sum, row sum. So napaka niyan, obvious, kaya nang kunin. Yung row sum again, i-add mo lang yung row. Okay, kada isa, tapos column sum, i-add mo lang din yung column. Okay, anong kulang? 0, 2, 1, 2. Okay, so probability ng 0, 2. Then this is just 0, 2. Syempre, hindi tayo bubunot, no? Bubunot lang tayo ng dalawang white. So this is 4 taken 2, then 5 taken 1. All over. Yes. So 0, 2. Ilan ang sagot sa 0, 2? So check ko, that is 30 over 220. Okay, so this is 30 over 220. So sorry, medyo matagal na yung video, ha. Okay, the next is probability, no, 30 over 220. Okay, next is probability ng 1, 2. Probability ng 1, 2 is just equal sa 1 taken 3 taken 1 tas 4 taken 2. No, 3 taken 1 4 taken 2. Okay, all over S. So ilan yan? This is just 1, 2, that is 18 over 220. So sana hindi ako maduling. So this is 18 over 220. Okay, so this is 18 over 220. Okay, next, last is 0, 3. So this is probability ng 0, 3. Okay, this is just equal sa 4 taken 3, syempre, all over yung S. So 0, 3, that is simply, may 3, 0 na tayo, no? So 0, 3, this is simply 4 taken 3, that is 4 over 220. So this is 4 over 220. So this is 4 over 220. Okay? Now, para makuha yung row sum, so add mo lang yun, lahat na nasa row, add ko lang to, add ko lang yan, add ko lang yan. Then dito, column sum, add lang natin. Dapat, ang mangyari, equal yung first column sum sa first row sum, equal sila. Kumbaga, ganyan dapat. Parang symmetric yung dating. Okay, symmetrical yung kakalabasan. Okay, so balik baba ko lang konti. So, ready naman tayo. Ready. So, again, lalagay ko lang yung mga column sum, base na lang din. So, kayo na lang din mag-add. Sensya na kasi medyo tatagal kasi talaga yung ating solution. So, again, yan yung ating naging table niya, ang probability mass function. Kung baka sinod ko lahat. So, para sa row sum dito, or sa column sum, rather. So, this is 56 over 220. Okay, pasulat na lang 112 over 220. So, pasensya na sulat na sira. Ang hirap kasi magsulat. This is 48 over 220. So, this is 4 over 220. Obviously, this is 4 over 220. Okay, so, ayun na, no, parang 27 over 220. So, yun, hindi ko pala, mali pala yung sinabi ko. 27 over 220. So, hindi pala equal dito. Kumbaga, yung dito, equal doon. Hindi pala ganun. Okay, so, iba yung column sum sa row sum. Okay, iba, oo nga, tama. Kasi, hindi naman talaga equal yung number ng white sa red ball. Okay, so kaya talagang mag-iiba dito. Pero in terms dito naman sa sagutan dito, pansin mo naman may symmetric na konting sagutan dyan. Okay, then this is something na 108 over 220. Next is 84 over 220. Okay, so therefore, this is the answer para sa given na to. So, ganyan yung gagawin natin dito pag discrete case. So, napansin mo medyo matrabaho at mahaba talaga yung gagawin. Okay? So, next question is about, suppose that 15% of the families in a certain community has no children. So, 20% have one child, 35% have two children, and 30% have three. Now, suppose further that in each family, each child is equally likely, so something independently, to be a boy or a girl. So, if a family is chosen at random from this community, then B is the number of boys and G is the number of girls in this family. We'll have the joint probability mass function. Probability of B is equal to I, comma, G is equal to J. Or simply, this is just the probability o probability mass function ng I, J. Okay, so joint probability mass function ng I, J. So ito nga medyo tricky dito, no? So katulad nung ginawa natin kanina, create tayong table. So this is I. So this is J. So medyo lalakyan ko dito. Kasi nga nagkamali tayo kanina, no? So again, since ang pinakamaraming possible na anak natin dito is, or anak dito is something na tatlo. Okay, kasi pwedeng wala silang anak, pero hanggang tatlo. Okay, so sa isang community, pwedeng 0, okay, 1, 2, and 3. Tapos dito, buhin natin, this is 0. Tapos layo konti, this is 1. Layo konti, this is 2. Okay, and lastly, this is 3. So, again, huwag kalimutan lagyan ng row sum sa column sum. So, this is the row sum or the probability of B is equal to I. Okay, para dito. Next, para dito, something na ganyan. Ganyan. Okay, then ganyan. And ganyan. Then lastly, the probability or the column sum ng G is equal to J. Okay, so again, dito nga ako medyo may duda din sa una, actually. So, kaya talaga sa una medyo nalilito ako. Okay, so, hoping na mag-get nyo din kung paano ko siya naintindihan. Okay, so, tandaan nyo, medyo tricky kasi to eh. Okay, so, again, may mga given kasi dito, no? So, ang probability na pag one child ka, that is simply, so, ang probability na pag one child, no child, probability na no child is simply 0.15. Ang probability na pag one child is 0.20. Okay, ang probability na siya ay two child, this is 0.35. Okay, ang probability na pag siya ay 3 child, this is simply 0.30. Na ang probability naman ng boy, okay, ang probability ng boy, na boy yung anak, syempre 1/2, kasi dalawa lang ng choices eh. Ang probability na girl yung anak is simply also 1/2. Okay, so yan yung mga choices na gagamitin natin dito. Okay, so again, another ano yung mga hindi possible dito. Ang hindi possible dito is yung 4 yung anak, kasi 3 lang pinag-uusapan. So this is 0, this is also 0. So in this case, this is 0, 0, 0, 0. Okay, then this is also 0 and 0. Okay, so ayan yung mga 0 dito na part. Okay, so una is the probability na 0, 0. Okay, so ano yung probability na 0, 0 siya? So una is the probability na no child. So the probability na siya ay boy is equal to 0, G is equal to 0. So ganito ko siya susulat. So this is just equal sa probability na siya ay no children. Okay, in which this is just 0.15. Okay, so base sa taas. Okay, so this is just 0.15. Okay, so madali dyan. Okay, next is the probability na yung boy is 0, tas girl is 1. Okay, so ang ibig sabihin yan na ang ibig sabihin ng probability na to is something na ang probability, kasi kino-consider ko din dito yung number of child eh. Again, bukod sa kino-consider mo yung probability ng boy and girl, kino-consider mo din yung probability ng number of child kasi given eh. Okay, actually sila yung main given dito. Kumbaga essential lang talaga yung probability ng boy and girl. Ayan. So paano natin kukunin yung ganito? Since alam natin na this is end. Okay, so again, since this is end. Okay, so something na kailangan natin siya makompute. So kung naaalala mo, pag meron kang probability ng end, anong ginagawa natin? Ina-applyan natin siya ng tinatawag na multiplication rule. Okay, so again, na-applyan natin siya ng multiplication rule. So again, rewrite ko lang to in terms of word. This is just the probability na meron siyang 1 child and meron siyang 1 girl. Okay, then using multiplication rule, ano mangyari doon? This is just the probability na meron siyang 1 child multiply na meron siyang probability na meron siyang 1 girl given na merong 1 child. Tama? So, ganun natin gina-apply. So, this is just equal. Ano yung probability na merong 1 child? So, give that is 0.20. Okay, next. Ano probability na meron siyang 1 girl given na merong 1 child? That is simply 1/2. Okay, again, hindi siya 1. Hindi siya 1. That is 1/2. Bakit? Kino-consider ko yung, ang probability ng girl is 1/2. Given na may probability, given na siya ay 1 child, so this is just 1/2. Okay, so this is just 1/2. Then pag multiply 0.20 times 1/2. Okay, so 0.20 times 1/2, that is simply 0.10, I guess. Okay, so that is 0.10. And obviously, dito sa case na to, equal yung likely. Siyempre, may na-observe natin sa probability ng boy and girl, equally likely sila. So, meaning, this is just equal lang also. So, this is just also equal. So, this is 0.1, no? 0.1. Okay, this is just also or the probability na this is girl is equal to 1. Girl is equal to 0, then boy is equal to 1. So, sorry, baliktad pero alam niyo na ibig sabihin yan. Burahin ko na, baka makakopya niyo. Magkamali kayo ng idea. So, this is the probability na boy is equal to 1, then girl is equal to 0. Okay, so pareha sila. So, this is 0.1 also. Okay, so that is 0.1. So, next is 0, 2, saka 2, 0. Yun yung sa-solve natin. So, the probability na merong boy is equal to 0 and girl is equal to 2, or simply, the probability ng boy is equal to 2 and girl is equal to 0. So again, yung sinusolve ko dito is yung probability lang to. So magbabago kasi yung way pag ganito niya. So ano naman ibig sabihin nito in terms of wording? So in terms of wording, this is the probability na may 2 children tas may 2 girl. Okay, so this is the probability na may 2 children and 2 girls. So this is just equal sa probability ng 2 children multiplied by the probability ng 2 girls, okay, given that 2 children yung anak. So now, the probability ng dalawa yung anak is simply 0.35 based sa given. Okay, then multiplied by the probability na may 2 girls, so the probability of each girl is 1/2. Okay, since dalawa yung girl, so again, dalawa yung girl, so meaning, lumalabas na siya ay simply 1/2 raised sa 2. Okay, so bakit 2? Kasi dalawa yung girl. So again, independent siya. So para siyang binomial in sense. Okay, so 1/2 times 1/2 kasi probability ng girl, probability ng girl. Ganun natin siya kino-consider. So now, 0.35 times 1/2 raised sa 2. So again, 0.35 times 1/2 raised sa 2. So this is just equal sa yun na 0.2, no? That is simply 0.0875. 0.0875. Okay, so sorry, hindi ko nalagay. So this 0.0875. So paki-linaw na lang doon. So dito rin ganun din siya. So this is 0.0875. Okay, so next is pag tatlo naman yung anak or pag tatlo yung babae, tatlo o lalaki. Okay, so this is just the probability ng boy is equal to 0, then girl is equal to 3. Or simply, or the probability ng boy is equal to 3 and girl is equal to 0. Okay, so simply dito naman, this is just the probability na tatlo yung anak and tatlo yung babae doon. So this is just equal sa probability na tatlo yung anak multiplied by the probability na tatlo yung babae given na may tatlong anak. So similarly, ito ay 0.35, 0.3. So this is 0.3. Okay, multiply by 1/2 pa rin pero naka-raise na to sa 3. Okay, so clear naman siguro tayo dyan. Naka-raise na siya sa 3 kasi tatlo na yung anak eh. Okay, so simply this is just equal sa that thing that is simply equal sa 0.0375. Okay, so this is 0.0375. 0.0375. So this is 0.0375. So sorry, hindi ko napagkakasya talaga. 0.0375. So ginagawa ko naman lahat ng way para mapagkasya natin yan. Okay, so ayun, medyo ito lang, no? Ang mahirap na dito is syempre probability na may 1, 1. So ayun, medyo iba siya. So yung probability na may 1 boy tapos may 1 girl. Okay, this is simply equal sa probability na may 2 child. Okay, and that is 1 boy and 1 girl. Okay, so pag nilagay natin yan, this is just equal sa probability ng 2 child multiplied by the probability na may 1 boy, so 1 boy given na may 2 child times probability ng may 1 girl given na may 2 child and may 1 boy. Okay, so ganyan yung nangyari ngayon dito. Again, probability na may 2 child times the probability of 1 boy given na may 2 child times the probability of 1 girl given na may 2 child and 1 boy. Ayun yung gagawin natin. Now, the probability na may 2 child is just equal sa, ano yung probability na may 2 child? This is 0.35. The probability na may 1 boy out of 2 girls, out of 2 child, that is 1/2. Okay, next. Since ito yung nangyari, no? Probability kasi 1 lang naman, kaya naka-raise lang siya sa 1. Ngayon, ang nangyari na is, isa sa dalawang anak natin is lalaki. Now, ano yung probability na merong 1 girl? Siyempre, obviously, 1 na. Again, hindi ko nasalagay yung 1/2 kasi bakit? Ang nangyari dito, ano yung probability na may 1 girl given na may 2 child tapos isa dun is lalaki? So, meaning, ano yung probability na may babae dun o may isang babae? Meaning, 1. Okay, so this is just 1. So, this is just equal sa 0.35 times this thing. This is simply equal sa 0.175. I guess. So, this is 0.175. Okay, so lagay ko lang doon. This is 0.175. Okay, so ito yung sa last yung medyo talagang naging actually parang hindi naman totally nagduda or something. So, medyo naging tricky ako paano siya lumabas. Okay, although nakaisip ako ng way paano siya i-explain. So, the last thing is the probability na mayroong 1 boy, may 2 babae, or may probability na may 2 boys at may 1 babae. Okay, so similar, equal lang naman yun eh. Okay, this is just the probability na may 3 child, tapos mayroong 1 boy, and merong 2 girls. Okay, so paano natin gagawin? This is just the probability na merong 3 girls, 3 child, multiplied by the probability na may 1 boy out of 3 child, given na 3 child siya, times the probability na siya ay 2 girls, given that meron tayong 3 child and 1 boy. Okay, so ito yung talaga medyo nagduda ako una. Ano pa lang. Pero I think sasagutin ko siya in our way para mas natin. Kasi nga, kung paano natin siya intindihin. Okay, so in this case, paano yan mangyari? So, the probability na meron tayong 3 child, okay, is simply 0.3. Okay, this is 0.3. Multiplied by the probability na meron akong 1 boy out of 3 child. Okay, so iba yung scenario niya pag 2 child. Okay, so kanina pag 3 child, ayun, kaya nilagay natin raised to 3. So dito, syempre, i-release natin 1 boy. So 1 half siya. So probability ng boy is 1 half. So this is 1 half raised sa 3. Okay, now, ano naman yung probability na merong 2 girl given that 3 child times 1 boy siya? Again, ano yung probability na may 2 girl given na may 3 child siya tapos isa is 1 boy? So syempre, isa sa sasagot mo is 1. Tama? So, sir, 1 po dapat. Yes, tama, 1. Okay, so this is just 1. Okay? Ngayon, ang naging katanungan ko talaga actually, sa akin personally, is sa book, nagkaroon siya ng multiplier na 3. In which, until now, iniisip ko talaga, bakit nagka-multiplier siya na 3, given that ito yung given? Okay, so bakit siya nag-multiply ng 3 something? Yun talaga yung iniisip ko. Okay? So, ngayon, doon ko naisip yung isa sa mga senaryo na to. So, yung senaryo na iniisip ko kaya siya nagka-multiply ng 3 is something na 3 child, there are 3 possible way na magkaroon tayo ng 3 child. Okay? It's either 3 girls, 3 boys, 2 boys, or 3 girls. 2 boys and 3 girls. Okay? So, again, may 3 possible way. Actually, dapat po rin, no? Kasi nga, it's either 3 boys, 0 girls, 0 boy, 3 girls, okay? 2 boy, 1 girl, 1 boy, 2 girls. So, actually, dapat 4. Pero, pasok kasi sa case na equal lang sila. Okay, again, pasok sa case na equal sila, tapos pasok sa case na magkaiwalay sila. Kasi, iba yung scenario. Although, equal sila ng probability, pero, yung event na kung saan may 3 babae na anak, is iba. Sa 3 babae is lalaki. Pero, yung event na to is pareha sila. Kasi, usapang lang, 2 and 1 yung combination. Okay? So, kaya siya nagka-multiplier talaga na 3 sa huli. Okay, sa ganitong scenario. So, in which case, ang nagiging sagot sa kanya is simply 0.125. So, this is 0.1125 rather. So, this is just 0.1125. This is 0.1125. Okay, so medyo matagal ko talaga siya pinag-isipan paano nangyari. Pero, ayun yung naging sagot. So now, lagay ko na lang din dito yung row column, saka yung column sum, saka row sum. So kasi importante to. So sa column sum is simply 0.375. This is 0.3875. This is 0.2. Okay, then this is 0.0375. Okay, so add nyo na lang din para masigurado nyo. So this is 0.3750. This is 0.3875. This is 0.2. Then 0.0375. So kung napansin mo, symmetrical sila. Kasi nga, yung scenario dito is equally likely and independent. So yung usapang boy and girl is something na okay, dahil yun yung kinukuha natin, nag-i-equal sila. So again, dito lang ako talaga sa huli nagduda. Pero yun yung naisip ko kasi nga yung scenario na kung saan yung may 3 babae, may 3 lalaki is magkaiba rather than sa scenario na may 2 anak na babae. Actually, dapat consider mo na iba eh. So that multiply mo sa 4. Pero ayun talaga yung sagot nila. Okay, so that's all in this video. So again, discrete case pa lang yung pinag-uusapan natin. So medyo tumagal na yung video. So again, hoping na may natutunan ka and at the same time hoping na hoping na manood ka pa sa mga next video natin. So again, huwag ka susuko kasi kaya natin yan.